to come to IDS today is, as many have said, a real privilege. The second thing I want to do is to apologize. I'm a statistician. And I come from a numerical background. Following from the messages that we have heard from so many really interesting people, I fear what I have to say is not going to be as exciting or articulate. But I wonder, why am I here? As a statistician, I am interested in information. As a statistician who is interested in development, I am interested in information of good quality that can be used to make decisions. As a statistician, I have heard the harsh, brutal criticism that Robert and people like you have made about surveys. And as a statistician, I have to agree with you. I came into doing a little bit of interaction with participation because I found that my tools are fairly blunt. They are very good for asking things that are factual. They are very good for asking and inquiring about things that I can, or people can quantify, if I believe that they can quantify them. But the world is so much more complex than that. And therefore, my tools are not enough. So I had to move away from a discipline and start a dialogue with people who have a view of the world that is more complex. And I have been accused of being a positivist. And probably that's true. The interesting thing about this interaction has been something that I would credit. Sorry, Robert, you will be blamed with many things. You've been breaking barriers. And I think that is extremely important. I think it is very important to be critical about how we do things in our own silos, as it has been said here. We need to tackle the inefficiencies, the incapacity, and the incompetence that plagues our disciplines. We need to be bold ourselves about criticism, and we need to draw inspiration from those who challenge what we do. And that's why I'm here, because I have found an enormous amount of help in tackling my problems from what loads of people around the world have been doing in participation. But I was asked to think about the future. And I want to share with you some of my experiences of what is current in my work. People continue inviting me to talk about statistics and qualitative methods. And recently, DFID invited me to give a seminar on integration of qualitative quantitative methodologies. Qualitative quantitativism is normal. I think we should stop using that distinction. The world is not qualitative or quantitative. We need to live in a real world that has both. And we need to learn to tackle information of both natures. And for that, I am grateful to the participation community, the participatory community, because they have made me think about that. I think we need to continue breaking those barriers. If I can borrow your word, we need to continue being subversive. There is too much conformism with what we are fed through our formal process of education. We need to not only break down barriers, that is not enough, we need to build bridges. And part of the process of building bridges, and that has been really interesting in my interaction with Robert and with people that work with Robert, has been the construction of a common language. Because when I say something is generalizable, I mean something and they understand something totally different. When I mean a sample, I mean something and they understand something totally different. When they talk about power, I understand one thing and they mean something totally different. The construction of a common language between disciplines is so terribly important in the development of methodologies that are effective. I think we need to work together in a much closer manner. One of my real concerns at the moment is that I engage with a large number of professionals of development who are incapable of engaging in the discussion about whether randomized controlled trials are a suitable methodology for the assessment of development intervention. And there is an enormous amount of pressure at the moment from funders and from academia to adopt what the most extreme part of the argument calls a gold standard. My problem with that is that people cannot engage at a suitable level in the debate. They don't have the tools, they don't have the concepts. And I end up trying to help a little, but that's not enough. The problem that we have is that those professional and educational silos continue to be built around us. And we, in the future, starting from yesterday, need to change the way that are discussing and engaging with young people about these topics. People like me, my colleagues statisticians who felt so resentful about the comments about surveys, need to realize that the world is not as simple as we consider it. I hope economists, and I'm married to one, and at some point realize that linear models are a very poor way of modeling reality. I hope anthropologists, and some of my best friends are anthropologists, realize that a collection of anecdotes is not equivalent to evidence. And I hope that statisticians realize that it is not possible to measure everything. It is certainly not possible to get accurate information, useful information, just by asking something in a very simplistic manner. So there is a lot of challenges that we need to face and tackle in breaking those barriers. Finally, I think we need to realize why we are searching for new methodologies and better methodologies. And I keep asking myself, why? And my answer for that is, I am interested in information that is useful and that carries relatively low risk when we use it. In the work that I do, I help collecting information to make decisions that affect people who are extremely vulnerable. And I think if we think of methodologies to obtain information of better quality to reduce the risk to those people, then we're going to start looking for methodologies that are effective.